morning, guys. I'm trying to make a video and it figures that my dogs would want to play. 2 miniature schnauzers. So maybe that make you guys smile. They hang out in my computer room, and then sometimes they get a little carried away. So anyway, what I was going to talk about today is I'm going to warn you ahead of time that this is like really deep sort of parts of how RetroPie works, the programs, some of the software used to make things launch and stuff like that. So if that's not your thing, you may get bored of this quickly. So one of the things is that I love Hirsty's themes. He has some of the best themes. These are great icons and stuff. If you see when they zoom in, if you look before that, there's like a silver circle, and then whatever the things are, characters or whatnot, they want inside it. So when they go over, they get bigger and they come into this bigger silver circle. Silver circle. Anyway, I built this ScumVM one because I just like the default is sort of like Space Quest, King's Quest, and Police Quest little characters, and then the ScumVM sort of mascot. And I built that one myself, and I was like, oh, this looks cool, so it worked out. The other one I built myself is this one. This is Chaos Emeralds. That's like a black silhouette, and there's these things going around around the icon. And then then I found the Model 3 arcade symbol and put that on top, and it zooms in. What I forgot to do though, I'm going to put it back in, is the silver lining that goes around. I forgot it on this one, so I'll just add that back in and then copy it over, and it works fine. Anyway, my main thing is, since I was scrolling over here, I wanted to say is, how do certain programs require the desktop? So in ports, you got Chromium browser, the cloud gaming, and Firefox Chromium cloud gaming. So, and then of course the desktop itself. But then like these require somewhat of a desktop environment to launch, because RetroPie's GUI is not a desktop GUI. So the first thing we'll do is /home pi retropie /rom/ports. And if we look in Nano Chromium, if you look, the run command that's in this sh file is typically the run command you would see in the es_system. So alright, clear ls. So I'm going to go /etc emulation station, and if you look in here, ls-lh will give you a list and tell you what your permissions and all that stuff. You'll see that the nano, if you don't do sudo nano, then you can't edit it, but that's not what I want to do here anyway. If you look in here and I say, let's just look at the very first thing. If you look about the fourth line, there is the supplementary, or the command. It says opt RetroPie supplementary run command folder, and then run command sh, and it tells you this system, and then the emulator 3DO, and then the ROM you want to load. So that's how this works. So let's look at, I'm hitting Control W, and then I'm going to search for ports. If we go down to ports, the interesting thing is, under it says bash and then the ROM. So basically, if you were to go to where the configs for that are, you can cd/opt RetroPie and then configs. So I'll clear this. So ls. Well, that's not what I mean. If you guys can see, here's all the different configs. So if we go to ports, then you'll see there's a Chromium folder, and then there's emulators and the launching PNG, which is just, it's, you know. So we're going to say nano emulators. And up here, instead of having like, you'll see it has Chromium XINIT, which is means X server initiate, which means I'm going to run a version of the desktop that doesn't have anything except for the desktop GUI interface, and then run this particular app within inside that. Does that make sense? It's like you're making a virtual desktop that runs a particular app. But if you look, the command is opt RetroPie supplementary / Chromium. So we're not even in that folder. This is the config file. So I'm going to clear this, show you that we're in this file. I'm going to go, I think back 3 folders now. LS, and then I want to go to the supplementary folder, and there's another folder in here for Chromium. And in here there's another SH file. The other one was a config file. So there's an SH file in the ROMs folder, which points to the run command. The run command needs the config. Anyway, as you can see, it starts getting correct. So let's nano chromium.sh. Now, if you look, basically what this is telling you is what do I want the browser to do, like some special settings when it loads inside the XINIT window. You're going to load the browser, but what this does is it removes the title bar, the search bar, and some other things. So I'm like, man, it seems so complicated. You know, I need... when I was in the desktop, I showed you in a previous video that I had installed some games through Wine, Wine64, and I could only get them to launch inside the desktop environment. And so when you're in RetroPie, it just tries to load but says, hey, I don't have what I need. I don't have the GUI interface and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, let's research. Let's look through what we know is already installed on here, and let's look on the web and stuff like that. Finding stuff on the internet is way harder than you think. You would think with all the resources for forums and Reddits and RetroPie forums, there's like tens of thousands. The thing is, it's kind of like looking for a needle in a haystack. And sometimes people don't title their stuff on forums or Reddits appropriate for you to search and find them. But regardless, so /home pi RetroPie /PC games, and oh, I'm in the wrong. I must have did something wrong. Oh yeah, /c home pi RetroPie /ROMs PC. All right, cool. So some of these folders I have not messed with or got them to work. I'm only focused on the 2 games that are the East games that I already know fully function and work in the desktop environment, including with the controller, which is important. So nano East _ Chronicles 1. So if you look, what I did is I used the XINIT execution of the virtual desktop. So I'm X server initiate, and then I say, okay, I want to load the Wine app. Where's the Wine app located? So that's what your first section is here. Here. I want to initiate the X server. I want to load this Wine app, and then I want to say inside that Wine app, I want to load this executable inside the Wine. That's what it does. This no listen TCP is just so that particular I don't want that program to reach out to the internet. And then this tells me what virtual desktop number 9 do I want to. The default's like 8, but I just changed it to 9, so it loads me up that. So the problem is this works in a from the command line here. I can type in dot slash, well, sudo dot slash and east underscore 1 or 2 sh, and it's going to load. I'll just go ahead and show you that from, and it takes a little longer because it's doing two things. It's loading a small desktop environment that has no menus, it has no start bar, has no desktop icons, but everything fully functions low. So I'm just going to say quit. Do you want to exit to return to Windows? Basically, yes. It'll take an extra minute. I'll take it back out here. And here we are, back to the, this is just stuff in the background about the virtual. So clear session. So, but now how do you implement that into RetroPie? You have to go to cd/etc emulation station, and then you have to sudo nano es_systems.config. In here I hit Control W, and I go down to the PC section. So what I had trouble with, I was trying to figure out what. First of all, I built this little thing. This is the easy part, but you make your system and you say it's PC games, and you tell it where they're going to be located and then what type of extension they're going to have, the .sh. But now I finally figured out that all I need for the command is sudo. I tried various things of putting like full commands, writing a config file that would have the wine command in the config. It was so overly complicated to have 4 files to load a single game, when all I finally needed to do is in here I put sudo. And the sudo, what I need that for is to run the xserver initiate command. It would load wine, but I need it to have upper level administrative privileges to load the xserver app. So I hit X, and now if I go to emulation station, and it's 2 terabytes of games. I got the Pokeminis in there. If I hadn't showed you that, I love it. They're super just old school, but they're so fun. Anyway, all right, we're almost here. No, I must have passed it. Yeah, here we go. So here's ports, which is what I was kind of basing how these launch correctly off of creating my own over here. Also, if you want me to show you, I had to make a games list config file and an XML file, and then I had to go and manually download these files, copy them over, and then tell inside here in the file where that image is, so it would load that, because it won't scrape them. But there's Chronicles 1, Chronicles 2. I found both of those on the internet. So when I'm in here now, if I click this, I'm still in the, and voila. So if you guys are looking to figure out how do I make a wine or wine 64, box 64 is probably a little bit easier, but how do I get those to load? The cool thing is I am using my controller. It worked right in, I cannot hit start and select, because, or whatever your default exit is, because that would be a RetroArch command, which helps you exit in RetroPie how to exit out of the menus. So I have no hotkey for that, but I can skip this, and then I think I have.
He has it healed fully, because so he's in bed, he just woke up, he's got a little bit of health. But then when he wakes, after he sleeps another day, he gets out of bed and he should have full health. So the nurse comes in and says, what do you guys think you're doing? He's wounded, he needs some rest. Okay, rest up, y'all, and we'll see you. Clinical care, yeah, return this quickly, bam. His health full now.
Little details they put into this. Alright, so if I hit the start button, go to files, and quit out to it. What I'll do is it's going to exit the game, it's going to exit the VM for the desktop, the GUI interface, and then take me back out to Emulation Station. Here I am. So what I'm going to do is work on, I have some other, like the other menu is this one. I have these two games that fully work, but they don't load right now. So all I'm going to do is get these Mugen. I might also redo that icon. I don't really love it. So I'm going to redo this circle icon. Hey Hursty, if you watch this, or someone is watching, just contact me and I'll send these to you and you can use them all you want. I only use them for myself, but I'll be glad if I make some icons to send them to you and let you use them if you like them. His are pretty cool though, you have to admit. The stuff he chose as the character choices are really good. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got for you. If you got some questions, I'll do my best to answer them. I typically answer almost all my comments within 5 days. At least that's what I try to do. And then if I can play some games or try some games, but also if there's just anything you want me to try on the Raspberry Pi 5, let me know. I haven't painted this yet, but this is my original type case for the PlayStation 2. There's the connection for the HDMI, and yeah. And then the cool thing is, if I can get my hand right here, this just, I don't think I can do this. Come on. Pops off, and here's your lid, and you can easily access that. There's also more room in there for like a full-size hard drive if you'd rather. But you can also put fans in there and stuff like that. I'll eventually put this 3D printable case on Thingiverse. I have like an account on there that has, if you search for Retro Gaming Rewind 1980, all one word, on Thingiverse, you'll find all the items I've uploaded that you can download for free in 3D print. That's all I got. Thanks. Bye.